punishment.
Okay, Jai Jinendra, let's start. Namo Arihantaram, Namo Siddharam, Namo Ayariyanam, Namo Vajjayanam, Namo Loitavisam. Mangalam Bhagavan Viro, Mangalam Gautamo Gani, Mangalam Kunda Kundaryo, Jaina Dharma Sumangalam, Sarva Mangal Mangalyam, Sarva Kalyan Karakam, Pradhanam Sarva Dharmanam, Jainam Jayatu Shasanam, Jainam Jayatu Shasanam. तीन भुवन में सार वीतराग विज्ञानता शिव स्वरूप शिव का नमः त्रियोग संहारिके. Jai Jinendra. So in yesterday's class, we covered the second Dhaala of Chhah Dhaala. And the second Dhaala primarily talks about the reasons of suffering. Now, the first Dhaala showed us the suffering of the soul in all the four states of existence. And this Dhal is talking about the primary reasons why the soul is suffering. So, in the first, stanza itself, Pandit Daulat Ramji says, "Aise mithya drag jnana charan vash." So, only because of your wrong belief, wrong knowledge, and wrong conduct, the soul is suffering in the four states of existence and is undergoing the cycles of birth and death. Now, in explanation for wrong belief, we saw the 7 errors regarding the fundamental elements. Already we have covered them in Vitrag Vigyan Part 2, Chapter 3. We also did Grahit and Agrahit Mithyatva. So when we are talking about Agrahit Mithyatva or inherited wrong beliefs, inborn delusion, these are the 7 errors that have been going on since eternity. So believe that I am the body and the external circumstances are favorable or unfavorable to me. The emotions like attachments and aversions are by nature and I'm supposed to indulge in them. Then the belief that favorable things are good for me and unfavorable circumstances are bad for me, harmful for me. And the beliefs like fulfillment of desire is what leads to happiness, and understanding the true nature of soul and the path of liberation to be troublesome. So all these mistakes are regarding the 7 fundamental elements, and it is solely because of these errors in your belief you are suffering from all the miseries in this world. So whenever we feel unhappiness, the reason is not anything external. Okay, we believe that I'm unhappy because of not being promoted. I'm unhappy because I don't have enough money. I'm unhappy because somebody said something to me. I'm unhappy because of XYZ reasons. But the real reason of unhappiness is mithya darshan, mithya gyan, mithya charity. Your belief that you are the soul and all the other things are under your control, you are the doer, you experience the ill effects of the external circumstances, all of these beliefs are the primary reason that the soul is suffering. Now, after that, we saw that with these kind of false beliefs, whatever the soul knows is also wrong. And in that, we see, suppose I believe that the child is mine, then I also have this kind of, the knowledge is also corrupted. Because I believe something to be mine, everything what I believe to be mine, I know them either favorable or unfavorable. So this kind of a bias in your knowledge is also wrong knowledge. So the belief, actually the function of belief attribute, like I told you, is to establish identification. Okay. And the function of knowledge attribute is to analyze, is to know, is to make decisions, to have judgment. To understand this better, let us take an example. Say around 50, 60 years ago, whenever a daughter had to be married off, so everything was done by the father. The father would, search the prospective grooms. The father would see how much the guy is earning, what has he studied, what is his family background, and all that full and jati and etc. etc. So everything the father is doing, like every decision is taken in the knowledge attribute. And what does the girl do? The girl does not even know of the guy she is marrying. She just, accepts him or identifies herself as his wife. So the Shraddha Gun or the belief attribute, its function is just to accept what the knowledge is knowing. Okay. So when we are working to remove these wrong beliefs, what we do? We first study. We study Jinwani, we do Swadhyay, we, analyze where our beliefs are going wrong. We make those correct decisions in our knowledge itself. And then what happens is the belief attribute or the Shraddha accepts the pure soul as its nature and discards the belief of body and other things being mine. And that is how you get the right belief. Is this understood? Anyone has any questions? Yeah?
No, no, no.
Okay. So this is the difference between belief and knowledge. So we saw that because of the wrong belief, now wrong belief is like the first ulta ghada. You understand, the pot which is kept upside down. We all have seen in villages the pots are stacked one above the other. And if they are stacked in that fashion, those pots remain intact. However, if you stack the bottom pot down, what will happen to all the pots above it? All are going to fall off, right? So mithya darshan or wrong belief is the bottom pot which is upside down. When belief is wrong, your knowledge, conduct, and everything is wrong. How much ever you might have Shastra Gyan, you might be a Pandit or whatever, still that Gyan is Mithya Gyan. You don't have Samyak Gyan until you have Samyak Darshan or the belief is right. Okay. So, because of that's why yesterday in the class also I mentioned that Mithya Darshan or wrong belief is the primary root cause which needs to be corrected first. Our core belief is wrong, then whatever you know is wrong. And in the next stanza itself, we'll see then wherever this soul is getting engaged, that conduct also becomes wrong. Now, what is the function of conduct attribute? Okay, the conduct attribute or charitra gun of the soul, its function is to get absorbed or engrossed. In Hindi, we say leen hona, ramna. Okay, so if the soul knows itself, if the identification of the soul is not there and you are identifying yourself as the body, the consciousness is also engaged only in the body activities. It is completely absorbed in external things. So, with wrong belief and wrong knowledge, our consciousness only is absorbed in the objects of the five senses, in rag-dvesh, in attachments and aversions. It has no way found its true self or the soul. So stanza 8, if we see, I'll just share my screen. Yeah. Is it visible? So now till yesterday we did till stanza 7. Now this stanza 8. In jut vishayani ki jo pravruti. In jut means what? Along with the previous ones which he has spoken about. The previous ones was wrong belief and wrong knowledge. So because of wrong belief and wrong knowledge or mithya darshan and mithya gyan, Vishayani means I had already mentioned these are the objects of the five senses. Vishay or Indriya ke Vishay, the five sensory organs, they are involved in the external things. So all these objects of sensual pleasures are known as Vishay. So because of wrong belief and wrong knowledge, the consciousness of the soul is completely absorbed. It is completely entangled in the objects of the five senses, wanting to get engaged in them, wanting to desire happiness from them. So, in Jut Vishayani ki jo pravrutti. So, the activity of consciousness that was supposed to happen in the soul by being absorbed in the soul is not happening, and it is continuously being engaged in external things and undergoing the cycles of attachments and aversions. This kind of false conduct is known as mithya charitra. Okay, so charitra is not something which is done with the body. That is just vyavhar charitra. Vyavhar, you understand, conventionally it is known as charitra. In reality, charitra is an attribute of the soul. Conduct is an attribute of the soul. So the engagement of consciousness in external elements itself is mithya charitra. Okay. So in Jut Vishayani ki jo pravritti, tako jano mithya charitra. This is the nature of wrong conduct. Now, until and unless you have achieved the right belief, anything that you are doing in the name of conduct is wrong conduct. So any kind of vows, vrat, tap, upas, penance, anything that is done, until and unless the belief is right, all of that is classified as mithya charitra, because the right knowledge and right belief of the soul is not there. There is no distinguishing factor between self and non-self. In the knowledge, you are believing yourself to be the body and yourself to be the doer of the body. So anything which is done with the body is also mithya charitra. Now, till now, he has spoken about agrahit or inherited wrong belief, wrong knowledge, and wrong conduct. Now, this inherited mithyatva or agrahit mithyatva is not unique to humans. It is there in all the four states of existence. Even the one sense life form like Nigod or Prithvikai and all those jeev that we mentioned in the first class, all those small jeev also have this agrahit mithyatva. By default, that soul also, in its limited knowledge, has this belief that I am the body, has this belief that body's uh, betterment is my benefit, things like that. That is why even the animals or even the plants, without any instinct, they are fighting for survival. Why? Because they have this agrahit mithya darshan and agrahit mithya gyan and agrahit mithya charitra by default. So till now we have discussed this inherited wrong belief, wrong knowledge, wrong conduct, in short known as mithyatva, agrahit mithyatva. Now, so nisarga, yo mithyatwadi nisarga eha. These three, mithyatwadi means wrong belief, wrong conduct, and wrong knowledge. All three are nisarga. Nisarga means what? Found in nature, naturally present. You have not, artificially acquired from anywhere. You have it by birth, by default. It is your default setting. Okay, so yo mithyatwadi nisarga A. Till now, we have described all these inherited beliefs and conduct and knowledge. Ab je grahit suni ye jute. Now, I am going to describe what grahit mithyatva. What is grahit mithyatva? Which I am acquiring from external, external surroundings. So it is like,
ma'am, sorry to disturb you. You have told no, nisarg means found by nature. By nature,
yes.
That is mithyatva and conduct, mithyatva conduct, and another one 3 you have told, no?
Wrong knowledge, wrong conduct, and wrong belief. Darshan, Gyan, Charitra. So let's remember these by heart.
Okay.
So Mithya Darshan, Mithya Gyan, and Mithya Charitra. These three together are the path of Sansar, and Samyak Darshan, Samyak Gyan, Samyak Charitra are the path of Moksha. So in this entire thing, we are going to talk only with respect to these three. Okay. So Yo Mithyatwadi Nisarga A, these are, since they are inherited by birth, since eternity, are present in all four states of existence. And now we are going to understand Grahit Mithyatva, all the ones that we have acquired from wrong sources. So what are those? So now this description I don't know background of each one of you, but it might be a little bit disturbing. It might really shatter some beliefs. But let us, understand first that what is the true nature of gods and scriptures and monks and whom we should follow. And then we will understand what we mean by Kudev Kuguru Kushastra. So before going to that, I think we should just read this. Shashikala ji, please read this.
Yes, I'm reading. That with the inborn wrong faith and knowledge, the soul conducts its activities with indulgence in sensual pleasures. This is known as the inborn wrong conduct. Agurgat mithya charitra. All these three things are the reason for unhappiness. One has to remove them with the help of understanding the knowledge of truth, tattva gyan. Without the understanding, one is unable to get rid of desires of objects of the senses, even if these are gracious attachments. That is Shubha Raga, or auspicious objects. They are still the objects of the senses and need to be dismissed. The soul who is engrossed in them ends up forgetting its true nature of super sensuous bliss.
Okay.
Anindriya Anand.
Atindriya Anand.
Sorry,
Okay.
Atindriya Anand. Thank you.
Yeah. So what we are saying here is that these three, wrong belief, wrong knowledge, and wrong conduct, are the reason for unhappiness. And how do we get rid of it? What is the way we get rid of it? So first step is understanding the knowledge of truth, which we are already doing. Shastra Abhyas. Okay. So those who have manifested true happiness, the Arihant Bhagwan, they have given Upadesh or sermons in the form of Divya Dhvani, and all these scriptures are written on the basis of this Divya Dhvani. So when we understand the nature of true tattva or true elements, that is when these, strong misbeliefs, they start loosening up a bit. So delusion is, compared to the root, because it is the root cause of unhappiness. So when you are shaking the root, right? How will you shake the root of a plant? So by Tattva Gyan, by right knowledge. So if there is a tree, if you just chop off the branches, that tree is not going to die. Okay, after some time, the leaves will again start growing. If you want to destroy the tree, you have to destroy its roots. In this way, this tree of sansar, okay, just imagine the sansar is a tree. If you want to uproot your sansar and go to moksha, what you will have to do? You will have to work on the roots. Now, if you just work on the conduct, it's like chopping off the branches. Okay, I will stop, eating everything. I'll do upvas. I will do this, that, take breath. So it is like chopping off the branches. Until and unless you have not uprooted the delusion in the bottom with right tattva gyan. What is the axe that we use to uproot this tree? It is tattva gyan. It is the right knowledge. It is shastra abhyas. Only with that kind of knowledge, you can uproot this tree of sansar. Okay, do we get it? So without this understanding, no matter what we do, we cannot get rid of our desires. Most you can curb them, but that is not the absence of desires which is required for vitrag. You understand? People get involved in shubhrag or doing kindness, compassion, charity, believing it that to be the path of liberation. So there are various ways in which we get diverted and don't understand the true nature of our soul, which is Atindriya Anand, or the bliss which arises from the experience of the soul itself and not from the objects of the five senses. So, yes, Priyanka.
Sorry, Vijay. So I have
Yeah.
a question. When we talk about right belief, it is like, first of all, belief in the scriptures or the Shastra of Jainism. That is right belief. And the other right belief is that I'm the soul.
Okay, so right belief or Samyak Darshan is the topic in the third dhal. But in short, I will say right belief is Atmanubhuti or self-experience of the soul, or it is the true belief of these seven elements. So when you don't believe yourself to be the body, but how will it happen? Through self-experience. So when you get that self-experience or Atmanubhav and this, rise of supersensuous bliss or Atindriya Anand, that is the time you understand the true nature of the soul. Then you are out of that experience, but even in your daily chores, you know that you are not involved in them. You stop believing that you are a doer of them. You stop getting, involved in those activities. So that Samyak Darshan is something which is out of the world. Okay, so
Okay.
it works at the belief level, and Vyavhar se, like you can say that is the real right belief, and conventionally true Shraddhan of Dev Shastra Guru and all of those is conventionally known as right belief. But as you might have heard that without Nischay or the real right belief, conventional right belief holds no value, right? So
Yeah.
that real right belief should be our goal. So we will do that in detail in the third chapter of this book itself.
Okay. Can I ask one more practical question,
Yeah,
Vijay?
please.
So, when we talk about soul, and soul is intangible, and we also talk about Shubh Karya. But, anytime we do something like of act of kindness or act of something which is, that gives the feeling of soul in day-to-day life. Like, just the feeling that you get from inside, not
So that
because that,
is that is Shubh Rag. See, one thing you understand that doing something bad is known as Ashubh Rag or inauspicious bhav or the cruel sentiment, and doing something good for someone is Shubh Rag, the opposite of that. But none of it is Vitrag or without any form of rag. You understand? And the nature of dharma or the nature of path of liberation is passionlessness or vitragta. So when you are satisfied in this punya bhav or shubharag, because it is giving me that temporary good feeling, right?
Yeah.
And you are
Yeah.
satisfied, okay, this is dharma. I will keep on doing this, but that is not actually true dharma. Yes, you're binding auspicious sentiments. Because of that, you might also get something like Devgati or something, but without understanding the true nature of the soul, without getting Samyak Darshan, you will not get liberation. And trust me, Shubh Bhav also has an expiry date. For 48 minutes maximum, a soul can have Shubh Bhav. After that, 100% it gets Ashubh Bhav. Okay, so
Yeah.
it is not something which is permanent or shelter worthy. It is very temporary, and you will also observe that you are listening to somebody's sermon, and suddenly you feel okay. I want to donate 5 lakh rupees. ऐसा भाव आता है. Okay, I want to do this. Then you go home and then you start thinking, 5 lakh, oh my God, that's too much. Let me donate 2 lakh. Then again, there are some bills that are coming. Then you're like, okay, 50,000 bought it. And after that also there are, thoughts. So this Shubh Bhav which you got at that moment, how shelter worthy is that? How permanent it is? And here I'm talking about the permanent bliss of the soul. Where is it? Now that is what we have to uncover. When we are satisfied in these temporary things, we don't really uncover the truth, which is the treasure lying within. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Makes sense?
Yes, I actually had one more, but I think I'm going to drag the class. So I'll ask at the end of the class.
Sure. Okay, we can, this is a separate discussion. Yeah. So from this Gatha onwards, Pandit Daulatram ji is describing the nature of false gods, false scriptures, and false dharma. Kudev, Kuguru, Kudharma, and Kushastra. Now, why do you think he needs to describe this? Why should we talk bad about some other gods and gurus? So, what happens is that when this soul places its faith on these false preachers or false entities, why do we go to any kind of God? Because we want dharma, we want happiness, we want to find a path to happiness. That is why you are going to maybe Dev, Guru, Dharma, or these entities. But because they themselves are ridden with passions, they themselves do not know the true nature of happiness, they divert the soul from its true bliss. Okay, so that is why one must, as the first step in attainment of Samyak Darshan, one has to be very crystal clear with the nature of what is true God, true scriptures, and true monks, or true Dev, Shastra, and Guru. And one very easy factor to determine whether these are true Dev, Shastra, Guru is Vitrag. Is the dharma propagating Shubhrag, Punya attachments, or is this dharma talking about passionless nature of the soul? Is the guru passionless? Is the ascetic that I am following completely vitragi inside and out? These are the markers through which you can identify whether the guru or the god or the scripture that we are following are truly vitragi or not. So to give this guideline, we are describing the nature of false preachers. It is not because of some kind of an aversion or dvesh buddhi, or telling that okay, we are right, everybody else is wrong, because the path of liberation is only one, and it cannot be done in any lower form. Like rag se dharma cannot happen in any of the three kal, right? If I'm saying that punya will lead to dharma, or rag will lead to dharma, or any form of attachment leads to dharma, then that dharma itself is flawed. What is the nature of our gods? In the first Manglacharan itself, we have said that Vitrag Vigyanta is the only thing that is worth worshipping in the whole universe. So, what are these Dev Shastra gurus should be? They should be Vitragi. They should be completely passionless. The path they show should not have any form of attachment or aversion, because that is the only path that can lead to happiness. And when your gurus or scriptures or dharma is not giving that path, that means it is misleading you into further unhappiness. Okay. So, J Kuguru, Kudev, Kudharma, Save. Those souls, those ignorant, mundane souls who are under the trap or under the influence of false gurus or false preachers, false gods, false dev, and false dharma, and they are doing seva, or they are completely surrendering themselves to these false entities. What are they doing? Poshe chir darshan moha e. They are nurturing, they are nourishing. Poshan karna, you understand? You're nourishing. What are you nourishing? This chir means which is very, very long lasting. You are nourishing your everlasting darshan. Moha means false belief. Darshan mohniya karma, we all have heard, right? So you are actually fostering that darshan mohniya karma. You are binding even darshan moh for a longer time. By doing what? By following these false preachers. And if you understand that darshan mohniya is one of the most dangerous karmas, it is the only karma because of which the soul is wandering, suffering in the universe. Once darshan mohniya karma goes, slowly, step by step, all the karmas are eliminated. Okay, so it is the most dangerous thing. So the soul goes to these false entities for what? For getting happiness. But actually, by his misbelief, what happens is he binds very strong darshan mohniya karma, and it becomes very difficult to come out of that kind of a wrong belief. So, Je Kuguru Kudev Kudharma Sev Poshe Chir Darshan Moha Ev. He is just nourishing and strengthening his delusion, his false belief. And who are these Kuguru Kudev Kudharma? So now they are showing the characteristic. How do you identify if you are following Kudev Kuguru Kudharma? Antar ragadik dhare jeha, bahar dhan ambar te saneha. These false creatures internally, they are ridden with internal possessions like attachments and aversions. So in 14 types of internal parigraha or antarang parigraha, or your internal possessions, there are delusions and all types of kashay. So mainly they have a lot of attachment and aversions within. They have not understood the true nature of the soul. Bahar dhan ambar te sane. Externally, they are attached to dhan means money, ambar means clothing. Okay. Dhare kuling lahi mahat bhav. These preachers, externally, they take up a disguise, a vesh. You understand a disguise? A form of some wearing white clothes, some wearing orange clothes, some wearing red clothes, yellow clothes. They externally take up a disguise. Dhare kuling lahi mahat bhav. And by this disguise, what they feel, they foster their own pride and ego. Okay. They think they are mahan. This is what it means. So they are just, taking up some form of disguise, and then they feel that they are mahan. Te kuguru janma jal upalana. All these gurus, what are the characteristics? Internally, they are ridden with passions or Ragadi. Externally, they have any form of dhan, ambar, or any form of wealth or cloth is not allowed in Jain Diksha. Just understand this very clearly. In Ashtapahud, Acharya Kunkun Dev has written that if an ascetic or a Muniraj has parigraha even the size of a til tush matra bhi parigraha, okay, this much parigraha or this much attachment or this much possession the Muniraj has, that Muniraj goes in Nigod. This is Acharya Kunkun Dev's words, okay. So our belief of gurus with clothes, with utensils, who live in shelters, that belief itself is wrong, because Jain Marg is completely Vitragi. Internally and externally, the Muniraj are supposed to be Vitragi. Okay, wait, Priyanka. So internally, three quadruplets of passions, which are the Anantanubandhi Kashai, Apratyakhyanavaran Kashai, and Pratyakhyanavaran Kashai, need to be eliminated. And when this is done, externally, such a Muniraj will not even have a thread of clothing. They will not live in the houses. They will not possess even utensils. They will eat only in their hands. So this nature of true Muniraj, we will cover in quite detail in the 6th dhal. But only this kind of guru is accepted in Vitragi Jinmarg. Yes, now tell me, Priyanka.
No, I'll wait till 6th dhal then.
Okay. So
Yeah.
this is the true nature of guru. When we are saying guru does not mean a teacher. Guru means what? Whom you are following as your idol in moksha marg. Okay. So this guru is not. So like in colloquial language, all teachers are gurus. Our parents are gurus. So they are Vidya Guru. They are not your spiritual guru. Okay. When we are talking about guru in moksha marg, we are referring to sadhus. We are referring to those people whom we have given such a high parmeshti position. You know, every day in Namokar mantra, what are you saying? Namo Ayri Arnam, Namo Vajjanam, Namo Loe Sausaran, the Soloe Savasahunam. We are saying that, right? So we have given them the highest pedestal, the parmeshti pad. Now that pad, the Muniraj who has, needs to exhibit no possessions internally as well as externally. And in Vitragi Moksha, only 3 types of, these ling or external vesh are accepted. One is Muni ling or completely Nagna Digambar Sadhu. You all understand these terms, right? A Muniraj who has no clothes and no possessions at all. So that is first. Second is Uttam Shravak ling. You have done 12 Vrat of Shravak and 11 Pratima. In that, you have studied Elak and Shulak. The Shravak who have only a loin cloth and a cloth over here are Shulak, and one who have only a loin cloth are Elak. So Elak, Shulak, then Muniraj, and the third is Arjika Mata or the nuns, and they are allowed only one white sari. Okay, so these 3 are Samyak Darshan Roop, or these are the truling. And outside this, any form of bhesh is not accepted in Vitragi Jain Marg. So without me having to explicitly mention who are Kugurus, you should understand that outside these 3, all those who are telling themselves to be sadhu, sant, muniraj, etc., they are not true gurus. They cannot be worshipped. Okay. And now we are likening them to what? Kuguru Janma Jal Upal Now. So Janma Jal means what? This ocean of transmigration, of birth and death. They are now is a boat, and Upal means a stone. So to cross over this ocean of sansar or transmigration, they are like a stone boat. Now what happens if you sit inside the stone boat? The boat itself sinks inside, and everybody on that stone boat will also sink. So these gurus are themselves going the downward spiral. They are themselves, like I said, Kunkund Acharya, they mentioned, they go directly to Nigod. So they are going, and along with them, all those people who are doing their seva, who are worshipping them, they will also follow suit. Okay. Dhare kuling lahi mahat bhav, te kuguru janmajal upal now. You are sitting in the stone boat. You know where you are going to land, right? So our belief. So now some people will say, but I don't find any Vitragi Muniraj around me. What can I do? Whoever is there, I can just follow them. Now this path is governed by the right belief. Okay, so if your belief in this Dev Guru Dharma is wrong, and if you are okay with a sub, thing, then nobody can help you. So Mokshamar Prakashak, Adhikar number 6, 5, 6, 7, he talks about all this very specifically, that why you cannot follow them, how you are just increasing your passions and moving away from Samyak Darshan by not understanding the true nature of Dev Guru and Dharma. I cannot stress enough, but I am sure you all are smart enough to understand. Now he is talking about who are the Kudev or the false gods. Till now we understood who are false gurus. So who are the false gods? Je Rag Dvesh Mal Kari Malin. Okay, they are ridden with the filth of passions. So when we see the external demonor, either they have weapons, they have a trishul, or they have some kind of talwar or gada, all of those things. So these are symbols of violence. How can they be accepted in this non-violent path of liberation? That is something which we have to think. They are, couples with a man and a woman. So this is explicitly showing you rag, and the dharma is vitrag. So we cannot worship, gods that have three. Stri, Shringar. So Stri means with women. Any form of Shringar means decoration. Whether you take Arihant Bhagwan's Pratima and put decoration on that, flowers, etc., that is not allowed. So Stri, Shringar, and third is what? Shastra or weapons. So these kind of gods, wherever they are, you put Mahavir Bhagwan, right name Mahavir Bhagwan, but you decorate him, you give him flowers and all. This kind of practices are not allowed in Vitragi Mokshma. Okay. So Je Rag Dvesh Mal Kari Malil, Vanita, Vanita means wife, Gadadi Jut. Gadadi, Gada means that Gada, you all know, Gada. Okay, so Gadadi means all kinds of weapon. So these are the chinna or symbol to identify the false god. So here we are not saying that any external thing is a false god. Your belief regarding what should be the true god is false. Okay. You don't understand the true Vitragi demonor of Arihant Bhagwan or the true god, and you are believing in all these other kind of things. So that mithyatva is going to cause misery to you itself. Understand? You understand the true nature of dharma, vitrakta, and who are vitragi, Arihant Siddh Bhagwan. You understand the true nature and worship them in that vitragi form. That is going to give you benefit. Otherwise, if you are going to worship Rag, you are going to go in the path of attachments. Yes, Priyanka.
Sorry, Vijayji. So, speaking of Buddhism,
Hmm.
Lord Buddha doesn't have any shastra, no vanita.
Clothes?
Clothes, he has one garment.
Yeah, so you think it's allowed?
No, I'm just asking. I'm just wondering, like, because his values are kind of overlapping with our Jainism values.
No.
No? Okay.
So Buddhism, it believes in Kshanikvad, everything is temporary. It is ekant or a one-sided bias. They don't know the true nature of the soul. Okay.
They are not believing in Atma. Jiva is
yeah.
Like lamp. It is it gone means gone like that. They don't believe in Jiva Atma.
So Kshanikvad means what? Everything is temporary. Nothing lasts permanent. So they don't believe in life after death. Okay, the Buddhists. So this Atma abhi tak hai utna hi hai. Aisa. This existence is limited till this form itself. And nothing lasts. So every minute, everything is changing. So, they believe only in Paryay and no Dravya at all. So this kind of a one-sided bias is Ekantavad. And it is the false nature of substance. Okay?
Ma'am, one small thing, ma'am. This six Anathayan means that three Guru Devan Shastra and those ones who doing the service of all these three. 3
yes.
plus 3, 6. Am I correct?
Yes. So Kudev, Kuguru, Kushastra, and their followers. Followers of Kudev, followers of Kuguru, followers of Kushastra, Anayatan. Means the places where you should not go. If you want your own hit or your own benefit, you must completely abandon these places. Okay?
So, Vijay, one more question.
Yeah.
Practically like, outside India, most of the
Hmm.
temples, like
Hmm.
wherever, like, in the US or now in Dubai also, all the mandirs, there's like, most of the gods are like, say, Hindu gods, and then there's one pratima of Jain god. And that too, it's like, the one with decorations and like,
Hmm.
flowers and such. So in that case, if we go and worship them, will
Hmm.
that be the cause of some pap or like, bondage?
Yes. Yes.
Because
Because
then it's
you,
very
no,
difficult.
it is like, in where I had heard in one lecture that you believe your sir to be a nariyal, kahin pe bhi jaake phod diya. So if I'm not getting the true temple, it doesn't mean I go anywhere, right? That means your faith in the true God is not there. Now, for people like you who want to do darshan, you do Jinwani Sthapna at a good place in your home. Okay. You take any
Okay.
Jinwani like Samay Sarji, Chhah ji, you place it at a pedestal and you worship it daily. You do stuti of that. You can either worship Dev, Shastra or Guru. If there is no Dev and no Guru, in worst case, ideally you should relocate to a place that is close to Jin
Mhm.
Mandir. But if that is not practical or possible, you can have bhavna. Bhavna, you understand? That intense, that longing that I want to move to some place like that. But till that is possible, just put a shastra. Every day worship that, do Namokar mantra in front of the shastra. You understand? That is still
Okay.
fine. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Shastra
Sorry.
Bhakti, Shastra Puja is also allowed. Okay. So with Ashtadravya, you can do Puja of the Shastra. But you can't do Puja of false god.
Okay. And I have Pujan Path Pradeep at home.
Hmm.
So will
Hmm.
that be counted as Jinwani?
Yeah, that's also okay. Chhah Dhala Shastra is also okay. It is also Jinwani. Samay
Okay.
Sarji hai, that is also okay. So anything which is talking about Vitrakta is perfectly okay. You can place it, you can worship it.
Yeah, any parama that Pratamani Yoga, that also Jinwani, no, ma'am?
Yes, any Jinwani which is talking about Vitrakta. So I don't know exactly what, but usually we place Samay Sarji. But if you don't have access to it, no worries. Chhah Dhala ka book hai, to laga do. That is also okay.
Actually, Vijay ji, half the times
See,
no,
this is
वो डर
bhav
लगता है.
pradhan. Listen, why?
डर लगता है कि मतलब है ना, अवेल ना नहीं हो जाएगा. वो क्या, like, I will mistreat, like not mistreat in the sense like I will, the book will be there, the Jinwadi will be there in that allocated spot, but then I feel sometimes, oh, if I'm not wiping it every day, or like, if
Then
suppose,
wipe
I'm
it.
not doing.
Why not? You are so careful of, wiping your body 4 times a day. Then why cannot you take the responsibility of doing this? So this
Okay.
is, this is known as pramad, negligence.
Okay.
We
Okay.
believe that I will not be able to do it, so better not do it only. So you feel that
Mm.
I won't be able to, ऐसे खाने पीने में सोचना पड़ता है. Do you feel कि,
Yeah.
yeah, उसमें तो you do everything, no? 4 course meal and everything. But
Yeah.
this thing which requires attention, we tend to neglect. So think about it, slowly, slowly, the more you get into this, the more firm conviction happens that no, this is the most important thing. Then automatically this will become your priority. You will start doing it. Okay. So, but till
Okay.
then, at least know the true nature of them, true nature of God. Don't go here and there, on the pretext of dharma, because as they said, Janma Jal Upalana, you are sitting in the stone boat, and then you
Yeah.
know what is going to happen. Okay, he is just warning you. Like you have chosen to sit in the stone boat. The guru is not the one who is causing suffering. You did not decide what is right versus wrong. You did not decide the true nature of Vitrakta, and you have chosen to follow the false path. So who can save you? So only you
Okay.
have to, you have the onus on yourself to make the right choice and the right decision. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. Aditi ji, read.
One who worships the false preachers, false lords, and false religion is always feeding the right belief, deluding karma. This is known as acquired wrong faith. The false preacher has delusion from within and indulges in external wealth and clothes. He poses as an ascetic with a mark of clothing He has no attributes of a real ascetic as described in the scriptures. They are like a stone boat sinking in the ocean of transmigration. The false gods are inherent with the filth of attachment and aversion and are identified with the signs of woman and club, etc. By worshipping false preachers and false gods, one increases his acquired wrong faith and, as a result, continues to wander in the transmigratory cycle.
So worshipping the false entities not only increases darshan punya karma, but the soul thinks he is doing some punya, actually he is binding more path. So wherever we are faltering in this is the very first step. And one must think about this again and again, consider what is true vitrakta, what is the true nature of gods, and shed off all these false beliefs. Now we continue with the misperception, with the description of Kudev. Te hai Kudev.
Could you please scroll up for a second? That last sentence didn't catch.
This one?
Yeah, by worshipping false preachers and false gods.
One increases his acquired wrong faith. Grahit mithyatva, you are just increasing the level of that. And as a result of this wrong faith, you continue to wander in the transmigratory cycle. You continue this, cycle of birth and death. Like how we saw in the first dhal, which is there since eternity, in all the 4 states of existence. So it is continuing. You are not ending your cycle of miseries. Now, ते है कुदेव तिन की जो सेव शट करत न तिन भव भ्रमण chev. These gods which are having these women and weapons and decorations and all, these are false gods, and the one who does their seva or who is worshipping them are fools. Shat means fools. Okay, so those foolish people are doing seva of false gods, and their bhava brahman or their cycle of transmigration, their wandering in these 4 states of existence, their birth in all the 84 lakh yonis does not come to an end. Okay, so these people have failed the first test in identifying what is a true religion and whose path I have to follow. And that is why, because of failing this test, they might do a lot in the name of dharma, but their miseries are not going to end. Now the description. Yeah.
So you are saying that the true faith is vidrakta, and you try to adopt the life of a true ascetic. But if that is the case, then what about all the other pandits or other sadhu sadhvijis?
So I'm not saying that we have to adopt the life. I'm saying that first believe who is the right guru.
No, I agree.
Who is the right? But and then follow their path. Yeah.
Yeah, but what about the other sadhu sadhvijis and other pandits who are teaching us, common man, this knowledge that they might have acquired from somebody before them? So are they doing the right thing or the wrong thing? And if we are learning from them, because is that right or wrong? We are not worshipping them. We understand that religion is still worshipping the vitrakta, but just in this teacher-student relationship, or just somebody who has the knowledge, he is not propagating the knowledge that I am the right person to follow, but somebody who is the Gandhar. So if for a common man, it is a way that Gandhar is also a big thing, big person. So we respect them. We don't worship them, but we respect them and we follow them.
So we have to understand that is Vidya Guru. Okay, the one you are saying, like for example, I follow Gurudev Kanji Swami. I don't think he is a true guru, or in the category of Dev, Shastra and Guru, he can be placed, because in that category only Vitragi Muniraj comes. But what happens is that these Anya Sadhu Sadhvijis, they say that we are Guru, we are in that Sadhu Parmeshti category, and that basic belief itself has gone wrong. So you cannot worship them. When you're talking about Pandit, are the Pandits claiming themselves to be Vitragi? No. They are saying we are Grahast, We are just teaching this, and you are also having an adoration or respect for them. You're not worshipping them. So that is not wrong. But when somebody claims themselves to be a sadhu, then the nature of true sadhu is vitrakta. It is antarang bahirang parigraha rahit. So it will get more clear once we do the sixth dhal, where they show the 28 attributes that every sadhu must possess. And without that, we cannot call anybody a sadhu.
Yeah, I think the sadhus are not probably propagating it themselves, but those who are following have put them at that pedestal.
No. They are saying we are taking diksha, we are leaving our houses, we are doing this, and you go there, you do vandana, and all of that. So they are also saying that, okay, we are at a higher position than you. We are tyagis, but what is the actual definition of tyag? That is something which we have to understand. Yeah? Okay. So they have
we can follow.
Yeah.
Sorry, Vijayji. So we can follow Arjikas.
Are they Vitragi? Are they following the, pure Digambar Panth? Then why not? What are they propagating? I don't know. So it depends.
Because Arjikas in Digambar we don't find. We find only Muni Maharajji.
No, they are there.
They are there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Whoever you are
Ma'am,
following.
she's quoting that Aryakas means.
Yeah, I understand.
Yes, there so many are there.
There are.
But Panth is there.
In MP and all those, interior regions, you will find them. But the point is the internal, absence of 3 kashai is the first criteria. So externally, one can adopt any vesh, but internally, is that vitrakta there? That is a judgment you have to make. Okay, are they on the right path or are they not? You get it, whoever you are choosing.
Yeah. So one thing, Vijayji, because Arika will have, they will probably have some attachment to the sari that they wear.
So Arika's 5th Gunasthanvarti, they are allowed. They are grahas. Okay, they are not in the ling of Muniraj, 6th and 7th Gunasthan. So for them, this is allowed. Okay.
So if we say, like, if we listen to their pravachans, or if we follow them, then is it still okay? Like, if we think, like, okay, they're not asking for donations, or they are not asking for, like,
if you
like
can understand that, okay, what they are talking is pure Vitragi Mokshamarg, they are talking about the path of liberation, then why not? Yes, they are on the right path. So that is the decision and the judgment you have to make. That whoever the person I'm listening to, are they talking about Vitrakta? Yeah, Vitrakta is the marker which you have to understand. Wherever Punya leads to Dharma, Shubhrag leads to Dharma, or, Moksha baad mein karna, in this card, do Punya, get Devgati, and be satisfied. So if these kind of Updesh is coming, then that is not Vitragi Moksha. Okay, so that much, the more you study Jinvani, you will become smarter at identifying those who are giving true Updesh versus those who are not.
If they don't ask for donations, then how will they survive? Like, if they don't ask for donations.
Okay, so donation means if you are doing Ahardan, so they are not asking. Okay, Ahardan, Muniraj, when they go, okay, true Muniraj, I don't know if you have seen the video, if any of you have come to Sungat Panch Kalyana, they have shown a video. Muniraj does this Akdi. Okay, this is known as Akdi. They will just walk on the street and the Shravak will beg, do Yachna, Muniraj, Padharo, Padharo, Tishto, Tishto. So that kind of Navda Bhakti the Shravak does. And then the Muniraj will decide whether I can go and accept food from here or not. So they are not asking. They are not asking for donation. They are not doing yachna. Okay. They are just standing and the Shravak is actually begging, please come to my house. So this is the way Jin Dharma goes. The Munis are at a higher pedestal. They will never go at Shravak's house to ask for any damn thing. Even if they go to a Shravak's house for food, they are having Maun Vrat. They will not tell you, give me this or give me that, or they will not say yes or no.
They will take niyam. This one has happened only that day. They will take agartha.
Yeah, so that is known as Abhigrah. Some kind of
that name is called Vritti Paryasan. One of the top.
Yes. If I get this thing, then only I'm going to accept food. Like Rishabdev Muniraj's story, if you have heard, for 13 months he did not take food because he did not find the proper vidhi. Or Mahavir Bhagwan's story, if you have heard, that he did not take food for 5 months till all his niyam were satisfied by Chandan Bala and that Parna was done. So for homework, you see these stories. What are these stories about, and what is this Ahardan in Jainism about? They will not ask for donations. If Muniraj is asking for donations, then a big red flag. Okay, they don't. That is Vitrakta.
No,
Out
I
of this,
think like by
out of
donations, what we meant was not like in terms of food, but it's sometimes you go and for darshan, and sometimes they say like, okay, such and such mandir needs to be done for Jainism. You
Shravak,
guys are kind of
that is
well to
the
do.
job of a Shravak. Trust me. This kind of ayojan or this kind of arrangement is the job of a Shravak. When you are a Muni, your only job is to enjoy the bliss of the soul, to be engrossed in Shuddhopyog and to do tap and dhyan. That is why you have taken Muni Diksha. Because now you feel the burden of the sansari life and you want to be in your soul. So you have freed yourself from all the possessions and all the relations and you're gone in the forest. Now if you are doing all these kind of things, staying over there, then that is not the right path of Muni Marg.
What about
Okay.
cleaning items and all? They don't take it. Cleaning items like soap
So
and all.
for Muni, no. Okay, so Munis cannot take a bath. Okay.
Okay.
Munis don't have clothes. They don't wash clothes. Only two things are allowed. One is that more peach, which is known as peachy, and one is that water thing, kamandal, in which they put water not for drinking, only for cleaning purposes of their, feces and all. They need to clean because if they are going to the temple, they cannot go in that unclean body. Only for that purpose in kamandal they can keep water, not for drinking or any other purpose. So this is true Muni Marg. I think we all should wait for the sixth dhal to understand what a Jain Vitragi Muni Marg looks like. Then a lot of it will be clear.
Okay.
Okay.
one small question. That
Yes.
Sohan God, whether Muni Maharaj was there in the Panchakalyan time? Is any
No.
Muni Maharaj? Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. So te hai Kudev tin ki jo sev shat karat. The fools are worshipping them, and their bhav brahman or the cycle of miseries do not end. Now we are talking about Kudharma, Ragadi Bhav Hinsa Samet. What is the false religion about? So Bhav Hinsa, so internally it fosters these impure sentiments like Ragadi Bhav. Okay, like in Jains it is not there, but in other religions, kill goats and kill whatever other things, or do Havan, Yagna, Ikendriya Jeev Hinsa. So all these things are what? They are Hinsa. So internally also that is Hinsa, and Darvit Trasthavar Maranakhet. Externally also Hinsa. Okay, so they are not propagating the path of Vitrakta or even Ahimsa for that matter. Internally also it is ridden with violence, and externally also in any kind of Havan, Yagya, Bali, or Doodh Chadana, Nariyal Fodna, anything. All of that are sources of violence or Hinsa. Okay. J Kriya, yes, Priyanka.
I'm so sorry, Vijalji. I just
No, it's
was
okay. I'm sure a lot of other doubts are getting cleared for other people also. Tell me.
yeah. So talking about Doodh Chadana, the Shravan Belagola Prakshal that happens for Bahubali Bhagwan. So
Okay.
I have a major
So
doubt in
okay,
that. Like,
okay. So
should we
in
participate? Should we don't
Shuddh,
participate?
in Digambar Amnai, there is also Terapant and Vispant. We follow Shuddh Terapant Amnai. In that, milk is not to be put on any Digambar Murti. Okay, only Prasuk Jal or that pure filtered water, only that is allowed for Abhishek. But there are in Digambars also, there are several sects and some do dahi, ghee and everything, doodh and all. But that is ideally not.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, Je kriya tinhe janahu kudharma, tin sardhe jeev lahe asham. So all these kriyas, which I mentioned, yagya, havan, which are internally or externally leading to hinsa, they are known as kudharma or false religion. And belief in them, tin sardhe, sardha means shraddha, my belief in these kind of kriya, lahe asharma. Asharma here is not shame. Asharma means dukh, misery. So because of all these kriyas, the ignorant soul feels that, oh, I am doing a dharma karya, I am doing this yagya, this, that, bali, I am doing to please the god. But actually, he is just binding karma that are going to push him down the, nigo, the drain. And for infinite kal, he is going to be in a very pitiful state. So all these kriyas, wherever if we are doing, immediately we must abandon them. तो याको ग्रहित मिथ्यात जान, अब सुन ग्रहित जो है अज्ञान. So all these things, the false nature of guru, internal external possessions are having some external disguise. Then kudev, the ones who have vanita gadadijut or wife and weapons and shringar, they are kudev. And kudharma means internally and externally you are in violence, you are fostering violence in the name of religion, you are fostering passions and rag in the name of religion. All those things are grahit mithyat. These are the new kamai of this manushya bhav. You have earned them in this human birth. Okay, so you are under the depth of this grahit mithyatva, and you are just fostering your agrahit mithyatva, binding a lot of karma, and the future of these souls is going to be very bad. And that is why, with a lot of compassion, see, this is not dvesh bhav what he has written over here. Okay, it is not for putting anyone down, but it is for the compassion of the mundane soul, that if you are under the spell of any kind of false beliefs, then that is going to cause you a lot of misery. So understand these, and your job is not to correct anybody else. Your job is to correct your own false belief. So don't start arguing with anybody from your family, or because I know everywhere everything is going wrong. So just correct your own belief about Vitragi Dev Shastra Guru and follow the path that is right. Okay. So ab sun grahit jo hai agyan. Till now he spoke about Kuguru, Kudev, Kudharma. Now he's saying about Shastra or grahit mithya gyan. Okay. Agrahit mithya gyan was whatever false beliefs are there, you are just knowing it falsely, like knowing that I am the body was agrahit mithya gyan. But what is grahit mithya gyan? It is newly acquired by reading false scriptures. So we will see that in the next stanza. Jaini ji, please read.
Yeah. The foolish person worships false gods and as a result keeps on wandering in the transmigratory cycle of life and death. There is violence in his thought activity, bhav hinsa, in the deluded state. There is material violence or dravya hinsa in the killing of immobile and mobile lives. The religion which propagates these two types of violence is known as false religion.
Just a minute.
Therefore,
So
to
what is the
have
marker of 1 minute? What is the marker of false religion? Internally, it promotes attachments and passions, right? And externally, there is no regard for violence of Trasans Thavarjeev. If even a bit of Jainism you have understood, you know that in no form in Jainism violence is propagated or said to be right. Even the Mune Maharaj, they, the minutest beings, they do that Ponjani, you understand, with that peachy and all. So even the smallest of beings, even these Nigodya Jeevan, onion and potato, they are also not to be consumed. Our upvas are also without any kind of ahar. The water we consume is always filtered and boiled to avoid the jeev hinsa. So wherever, even through the bodily activities, Jainism promotes the path in which violence is minimized. It is not possible to eliminate violence, because some form of violence is always going to happen when you are a householder or a grahast, because you have to cook and clean and feed your family and do some business. But the path it shows is of minimized violence, and it tells you that your goal is to eliminate violence. Got it? So wherever there is fostering of violence, that dharma is kudharma by default, and whoever is propagating this, they are kudev and kugur. Okay, yeah, read ahead.
Therefore, to have faith in false preachers, false gods, and false religions is known as the acquired wrong faith. In the next stanza, the author describes the nature of the acquired wrong knowledge.
Okay. So are the others getting it? Darshit ji, Shubha ji, Rajeshri ji, Chaitanya ji. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, Ji, it is
Yes, ma'am.
very much clear.
Yeah, it's quite clear. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So anybody else also has questions, please feel free to, just interrupt me. Okay. Now we are talking about acquired wrong knowledge or grahit mithya gyan. Now, this is the nature of the false shastras. So first, let me tell you what is a true shastra. What is true Jinvani? So first criteria in understanding that if this is a true shastra is anekantavad. Do you know what is anekant? Anyone? Okay, so we have not yet.
Multi-faced.
Multiple view, not
Yes.
multiple view.
Yeah. So ekant means one-sided point of view, but the nature of reality, the nature of all the substances, the nature of the soul is multidimensional, multifaceted. But the scriptures that promote this one-sided reality are known as ekantvad dushit, or they are corrupted with one-sided point of view. And like Priyanka ji had mentioned, Buddhism is one of those faiths because they only show the temporary side of the substance. Then there is another one, which is the Vedant. They show only the Ek, Advait, Param, Brahma Vastu, and they don't show the Paryay side of the substance. So either case, both are corrupt, both are ekant, and the reality is anekant. Until and unless we know the true nature of reality, how can we understand the true nature of our soul and how can we acquire the right belief? So reading these shastras, which are corrupted with the one-sided biases, which do not depict the true multidimensional nature of the soul, cannot be read. Then Vishayadik Poshak. These shastra, they propagate sensual pleasures in some way or the other, or they foster passions or rag. Okay, they don't show the path of vitragta, whereas true jinvani is vitragta poshak. Vitragta ki poshak hi jinvani kehlati hai. Okay, so this is one of the stutis. So wherever you are fostering detachment and passionlessness, that shastra can be read. That is vitragta poshak, and these kushastra or false scriptures are fostering your passions. So already you have this attachment towards the body, and they will, like these yoga shastra or things like that, they will again foster those kind of beliefs and strengthen your false belief. So they are aprashasta or inauspicious. Prashast means auspicious, which is good for you, mangalkari. But these kind of shastras, they just show a one-sided, one-sided reality. They are actually quite inauspicious. They don't help you in acquiring true happiness. Okay. And who are the people who are writing these shastra? Ragi, Kumatin, Kruti Shrutavya. So all these are themselves deluded. The souls who are themselves deluded, they are writing these shastras. And these shastras are kubodh or false upadesh or false sermon, or taking you to the path of transmigration and not to the path of liberation. Okay, bahudena tras, it brings many miseries. Okay, so ekantavad is one-sided view. The shastras which are corrupt with one-sided point of view completely, they don't even show partial true nature of the soul. Okay, so for example, if you say, if I take my example, I am a woman and I have many dimensions to me. For now, I am a teacher of this class, but I am also a mother, I am also a daughter, I am also a wife, a sister. So these are the multiple dimensions of this personality, Vijay. Now, if I depict myself only as a teacher while not showing the other sides, then this is a one-sided point of view, which is false, which is not the true depiction of reality. In this way, these shastras just depict the soul in one particular way, absolutely not showing the other side, and that leads to attachments, that leads to delusion, that leads to misconception, and overall the purpose of happiness is not fulfilled. Okay, so these shastras that are not written by Vitragi sons, that don't give the path of Vitragta, should not be read. Subhaji, please read.
Jai Jinendra Ji. The reality comprises of multiple components. The false preceptor purposes only one such component and makes one believe it to be the whole reality. He also creates the scriptures which feeds the passions and the sensual pleasures. To believe, teach, and to learn these types of messages is known as acquired wrong knowledge. Grahit Mithya Agyan. This type of knowledge brings intense misery.
Okay, clear. So we have ideally only 4 minutes, and in this Dhal, there are 2 stanzas remaining, which will take another 10 minutes. Do you want me to continue or shall we do it next week?
Next week.
Yeah. So can I continue?
Yeah.
Or it's too
please.
much?
We will do it next week, Ji.
Next week?
Yeah.
Okay.
Vijay will do next week. And can
Okay,
we
okay.
keep like 4 minutes for question answers more?
Yeah, yeah, okay. So we will do these 2 next week. Yes, questions.
Can I ask?
Yeah, yeah. Ask. Tell me what happened.
Okay.
Hmm.
So, Vijay ji, like, speaking of Bhaktamar Stotra now, you know, how the story begins, like, when they started reciting. Now, Beetrag, no expectations, no Beetrag, but like, no attachments. How come the prisons got unlocked?
So this is known as Atishay or Chamatkar. I'm telling, he has not written for that. It was a pure stuti, but Mantungacharya, these are known as Devkrut Atishay. Okay. So when these pious souls are in trouble, if you have seen Sitaji's story also, in her Agni Pariksha, how did it start raining? So there was a Dev known as Meghvarsha, and he was seeing that, pious soul is under trouble. So he came to assist her. So these are some Atishay that happen because of that. But the path is not that. Chamatkar ke liye, this is not the path we follow. These happen as a byproduct. It's a Nimit Naimitik Sambandh. You understand?
Yeah, because
So because
growing
the
up,
devs, they people want to do the khyati of this jin dharma. They have this dharmanurag towards the jin dharma. That is why they do all these things, so that the other ignorant souls also believe that this dharma is the true dharma to follow. This is
But
why
as she said, now they are taking on their own people or for doing all this curing disease, all these things. Bhaktamar has been used. It is not for that.
yes,
It is
you
pure
know, like,
stuti and bhakti. So we
yes,
should have
but
our own Shraddha and Astha. What she is or what we are listening, this is not the way, because they on their own to do business. It is like a business they made now, as you said.
so.
no,
Okay,
but
let me. So
what
for you all to
happens?
understand, listen, dharma should be done like, why do we worship Dev Shastra and Guru? The only purpose of worship should be, I want to manifest the qualities that you have manifested. In Tatvar Sutra Manglacharan, Acharya Uma Swami has said, Vande tad guna labdhaye. Okay, Moksha Margasya Netaram Bhetaram Karma Bhubratam Gyataram Vishwa Tattvanam Vande tad guna labdhaye. I worship you because I want to manifest. I want the labdhi of gun which you possess. So that should be our intention of worship. If your intention of worship is, I am doing bhaktavar, so my this rog gets cured, my business gets better and all, then you are also doing Grahit Mithya. This is also Grahit Mithyatva in Jin Dharma. You understand? If you are going to Mahavir Bhagwan and telling him, hey Bhagwan, people go to Mahavir Ji, it is a Digambar temple and I am not getting kids. I want to go there and have kids. All these beliefs are also Grahit Mithyatva within Jainism itself. So all of these are false. Yeah.
Vijay ji, Ram Bhagwan had attained the salvation,
Yeah.
moksha. He had attained moksha.
But you can't worship Ram with his, bow and arrow.
Okay.
Ram Bhagwan can be worshipped in his Vitragi form. And Ram Bhagwan's murti is there in Gajpantha because he...
No, Tungi, ma'am. He has
Mangi
attained
Tungi,
moksha
but
in Tungi.
yes,
Yeah,
but murti is there in Gajpantha also.
It is in the Niche. Yeah, it is there. He's one of the Salaka Purusha, Rama. He's a Baldev.
And even
Balbhadra.
Vishnu Bhagwan had attained the moksha. Vishnu Bhagwan has attained moksha.
Who is Vishnu in Jainism? Krishna, they are saying is Vishnu, but according to Jainism, Krishna will become Bhavi Tirthankar. Okay, right now he is in Narak.
Okay, and Vijal ji, so
Yeah.
in Pujan Part
Ma'am, with
Pradeep
your
or in
permission, can I
something.
leave, ma'am? Thank you very much.
Yeah, sure. Anybody who wants
Dhanyavad.
to go can please go. Yeah. Jai Jinendra, do Jinvani Stuti and Nava Namokar. Yeah.
Sorry,
yes,
last question.
Yeah.
So in Pujan Part Pradeep or like in another, I had read, I think Jinendra Archana. In the last few pages, there are like several mantras that are given, about at least 7-8 mantras, Rishi Mandal Vidhan or things like that. So, and even like growing up, I had a few of my elders, like, with good bhav, they said, तुझे डर लगता है तो भक्तामर बोल, तुझे डर लगता है तो ऋषि मंडल विधान का जाप कर ले.
So I will
that's
tell
what
you
they
what
say.
happens is that depending upon the bhumika, Acharya Devas have given these things. Like Jo Jeev nichli bhumika mein hai, whose you can say eligibility is low right now. So even as kids, we also tell our kids, no, if you are scared, just recite Namokar mantra.
Yes.
So it is a kind of avlamban, but that is not Vitraka or that is not moksha. Okay. And then when you grow up, you understand what is the true nature of Panchparmeshti, you understand what is the true nature of worship, and then you also shed off these beliefs. But why do we teach our kids? So that they don't wander elsewhere. They don't just go off in some kumarg. So we tell them, okay, all your problems will be solved with Namokar mantra. Before the exam, say Namokar mantra. So these kind of things are there. They are also Grahit Mithyatva in a way, because saying Namokar mantra or not saying it is not going to alter the crumb of reality. However, for our own you can say not satisfaction, but the peace of mind, tranquility, because we are ridden with so much of passions, and recitation of Namokar mantra or Bhaktamar instantly reduces the intensity of passions, and you have that little bit Shubh Bhav. That is why we are doing this. But again, this is also Shubh Bhav. We have to understand that. You understand? The reason for worship should be to manifest Vitragta or to have the experience of the pure soul. And till it is not there for the Ragi Jeev, all these kind of, external avlamban, it is known as, are given. Like Pujan. Pujan is also Rag. Darshan, it is also Rag. Guru Seva is also Rag. But till you are not going in the path of Vitragta, these are given as external, like avlamban, you understand, the crutches. You're walking with the help of crutches. But those crutches are not desirable. Okay. You want to walk on your own feet. You want to experience the soul, but till you're not able to do this, these things are given like crutches. Ki, okay, paap mein mat jao. So you do these activities. Otherwise, what you will do? You will watch TV, you will eat anything you want, and you will do paap. And the result of that paap is going to be worse. So for this lower category or lower bhumika jeev, these things are given that you do this. At least better than that. But that punya is not dharma. Understand? The crutches, yaad rakh. Okay, it's just an avlam.
Thank you.
All right. निज निधि निज में बताई यह अनंत उपकार है, इसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना शत बार है। जा वाणी के ज्ञान से सूझे लो कालो, सो वाणी मस्तक नमो सदा देत हूँ लोग। जय जिनेंद्र।